with this week's movie segment of Nerd Bar Live. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, we've all gone to see it. It's Edge of Tomorrow. And you may notice there's a new face on the couch. Welcome everyone, Chris, or Steve's better half, as she's known around here. So anyway, we all went to go see Edge of Tomorrow, the Tom Cruise sci-fi flick. I think he's only going to do sci-fi flicks from now on.
I'm starting to get that impression.
He's all L. Ron Hubbard go. Which is cool because I like the movies. Just don't sell me any candles or books or try to hook batteries up to me. We're good, Tom. So, Chris, right off the bat, what was your first impression of the movie?
First impression of the movie. Well, if you've seen the movie Groundhog Day, which most people I think have at some point.
Bill Murray, right?
Bill Murray.
Wakes up every day in the hotel.
Same story,
the same day.
over and over and over again.
Right.
Well, if you love that movie and you love the movie Aliens, you would love this movie.
So this is the Alien Groundhog Day love child movie.
It is. It meshes perfectly together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because Aliens and Groundhog Day, that kind of has a little Kevin Bacon theme there because Bill Paxton
was in Aliens.
He was in this movie. One of his finest performances ever, by the way.
It was hilarious.
He plays this great sort of drill instructor type sergeant who really is important in the movie over and over and over again as you see Tom Cruise go through the same day over and over and over. Fantastic performance.
And over and over.
And how does that relate to Groundhog Day? Who was in Groundhog Day that had anything to do with this movie?
You know, I don't know. I'll have to check that. But
nobody, but it sounded good.
But we're talking about similarities in Aliens and Bill Paxton. And
well, there you have it.
And one of the best characters in Aliens.
Yeah, Game Over, man.
Exactly.
And speaking of Game Over, man, that was kind of my view of this movie. This was like watching a movie that is really a video game. And you keep respawning at the same point.
Start the level over.
And it's one really, really hard level to get through.
Start the level over, die! Start the level over, die!
And by the end of the movie, you feel like you've seen the movie about 100 times.
It actually does feel like a workout.
I've seen this movie a bunch already. Because you see the same parts of the movie over and over and over and over again. But it's still cool. It still plays out really, really cool.
The special effects are great. The storytelling is good.
You get Emily Blunt.
You get Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt is the sister of Battle, right? Joan of Arc meets the sister of Battle. Yeah.
She's the angel of
Verdun. Something like that.
Verdun.
Yeah. We don't want to tell you too much about the movie other than Tom Cruise dies a lot. So if you don't like Tom Cruise, you might enjoy this movie.
He gets beat up a lot too. So.
Yeah, beat up and shot and all kinds of things happen to Tom Cruise in this movie. I'm sure Katie Holmes is just rewinding certain parts of the movie.
Wait, she doesn't even need to because you see it over
and
over
again.
Yeah. If you're easily frustrated by movies that don't seem to be going anywhere and get bogged down,
don't go see this.
You're probably not going to like this movie because you're essentially watching some parts over and over again in the same 5 minutes.
I liked it. The only snag for me was the lack of a really deep philosophical explanation as to why these alien forces were on the planet in the first place.
They're just kind of there.
They just pass it off real quick with a comment because they knew nerds like me are going to go, well, why are they even there anyway? So Tom Cruise has a line like, who cares? They're here. Let's move on.
Well, some of that may be contained within the manga that this movie is based on, which is called All You Need Is Kill. It's by Viz, I think.
All You Need Is Kill by Viz. Check that out. Maybe you'll know more about the movie than I did.
The story in that is substantially different. There are some major changes between that and the movie, but I'll let you guys check that out.
Anyway, I think it's set up where they could make a sequel if they wanted to.
Maybe.
But I don't. It's time loops, so you think you have a resolution, but you never know. I mean, once you start messing with time loops.
Sure, temporal paradox.
Who knows what's going to happen. Anyway, it's called Edge of Tomorrow. It's in the theaters right now. You should go check it out, and we'll see you next time.
Christopher Calkin here. I went to see this Tom Cruise movie, Edge of Tomorrow. My head hurts bad now. It's like I was watching the same movie over and over. My head is exploding. I saw that guy die so many times. It was like when I was in Nam. Well, I wasn't really a nom, but I was in a movie about it.
Hello, fellow nerds! If you are in Myrtle Beach, you need to check out Ex-Con Comics on Main Street. It is the heart of the beach. Inside, you will find Nerd Bar, a new concept in nerdy entertainment. Ex-Con Comics is the home of Ex-Con, one of the fastest growing Comic Cons and the biggest in South Carolina. Whether it's comics, games, art, movies, or just something truly unique, Ex-Con Comics and Nerd Bar is the home of what is cool in Myrtle Beach. Check out facebook.com/nerdbar1 for more information. And remember, hot chicks love comics too.
Here we are with this week's gaming segment. We got a lot to talk about in the gaming segment. We got something special for you, but right now we need to talk about this mess on the couch. There's a lot of dust on this couch, and we're talking about a SSU Airborne Walker Transport. Steve, why do we have so many of these on the couch?
Well, we're going to have a miniatures painting contest here at Ex-Con Comics and Nerd
A painting contest of this miniature or any miniature?
It can be this miniature, or it can be one of the different miniatures that we have in stock. If you decide to enter the contest and paint this miniature, you'll actually be entered in 2 contests.
Ooh, double the chances, double the prizes.
So the contest will be for painting this miniature and the general miniature contest. Or you can buy one of our other miniatures and just enter the general miniature contest.
And this is really 2 miniatures in one, I noticed. There's a helicopter and a mech.
Why you wouldn't want to paint
Look at that one more time. Check that out. That's right. 2 for the price of 1.
I know, right?
So the entry fee is basically the purchase of the miniature.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there is no entry fee. You're buying the awesome miniature you want anyway.
You are totally buying a cool miniature and get entered in the contest as well.
Alright, now, it's a gaming segment, and every 4 years something awesome happens around the world. It's called Copa Mundial! Woo! World Cup soccer is going on right now.
Soccer is happening.
If you haven't seen it, then you probably laughed at it. I love soccer. I love watching these games. I get a little excited. Steve, you thought I was going to take my shirt off and run around a restaurant?
He gets way excited. I thought we were going to have to tranquilize him.
I play soccer, I played soccer. I can still kind of play soccer, but, not run as fast.
Now he watches soccer.
Yeah, but Austin is not with us because she is in Holland. The Dutch team is doing very well. They've won 3 matches in a row. They look like one of the favorites.
Yeah, she's very excited.
And she's got this report for you guys on everything she's learned about soccer so far. Check it out.
Hey guys, it's Austin. I'm in Holland, and over here it is absolutely World Cup madness. So to go along with this theme, I thought I'd take some time to share with you all of the things that I've learned about soccer since I've gotten here. Number 1. Daley Blind is a footballer on the Dutch team, and he's basically the perfect man because he's hot and he has lots of money. So that's my logic on that one. Number 2, we have to wear orange every single game or the team will lose. This is proven by scientists. Number 3, Robin van Persie is a superhuman with the ability to fly. Number 4, Australian footballers are very, very aggressive, and they also don't have kangaroos on leashes or anything like that. I was expecting kangaroos on leashes. I'm disappointed, but it's okay because we beat them. Number 5, it is important to jump up and down and scream at your television when everyone else in the room does, because then you can keep up the appearance that you know what's going on in the game even if you don't. This method has worked for me on several occasions. That's just a personal thing. Number 6, Arjen Robben is bald. Number 7, when Holland scores, it is okay to shoot off fireworks from your back patio, disregarding your neighbors, sound, safety, fire hazard. Just shoot off all of your flammable things. Number 8, if Holland wins the game, just paint everything orange. Your house, the sidewalk, your car, random buildings in the city, just make it all orange. Number 9, soccer is a legitimate reason to get into fights and scream at your friends. And last but not least, number 10, if you feel a psychotic rampage coming on in the middle of a game and you don't know what to do about it, just go ahead and bite somebody, okay? Just go ahead and bite somebody, and the referee won't even card you. It's completely okay. It's normal, even. That basically makes me an expert on soccer. I take pride in my knowledge. I've been growing up with this sport, and it's just all of these things that I know. I'm just so great at soccer. Touchdown.
What are you, some kind of nerd? When I am in Myrtle Beach, I hang out with my fellow nerds at Nerd Bar on Main Street. On Thursdays, I enjoy the board games and the beer nights before I get to the chopper. Yeah, go to Facebook.com/NerdBar1 for more info. I'll be back.
Here we are with this week's TV segment of Nerd Bar Live. Chris is on the couch with us. Steve, you guys know me, I'm Robin. This week we're talking about
The Will Wheaton Project.
The Will Wheaton Project. Now, when you first said Will Wheaton Project, I thought of Project Runway, and I was picturing Will Wheaton in high heels and a dress working it. What is the Will Wheaton Project?
The Will Wheaton Project. Will Wheaton has convinced the Sci-Fi Channel that they needed to give him a talk show.
So they're finally doing a talk show on the Sci-Fi Channel.
It's a nerdy talk show about nerdy stuff.
So is he like behind a desk and there's a couch?
No, he has kind of this green screened room behind him that he stands in front of, and then they project cool clips behind him.
Like
and stuff.
Talk Soup or...
It is very much the nerd version of Talk Soup.
Okay. So that
Same
sounds,
format.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Does Patrick Stewart show up and tell him to do
He
stuff?
hasn't yet, but he has had some pretty cool guest stars on there
Yeah?
so far. Yeah.
So is the show segments, or is he just talking about things in nerdy news?
It has a lot of elements. He talks about nerdy news. He talks about movies, TV, gaming. They have little fake commercials that come on, and
Game of Thrones.
they'll do stuff like, here's the new opening sequence to Game of Thrones, and they've made the whole thing to look like the old Brady Bunch sequence.
Okay.
So it's just like little vignettes and funny skits and things like that.
And Chris, you're a fan of the show, I understand.
I'm a fan of the show, and frankly, I was never a Will Wheaton fan.
But now you are.
But he's won me over.
He's brought you into the flock.
He's brought me into the flock. You know, I think the first show, he really didn't have his groove yet, but you know, a couple shows in,
Yeah, it has been getting better.
he's getting better at hosting. So yeah, I'm really liking the show.
Well, as we know, there's definitely an art to just impromptu hosting of a talk show.
Well, yeah.
Here we are. Will Wheaton, you should have gave us a call, brother. We had all the tips you needed.
We could have told you everything.
Anyway, Will, by the way, when you coming down to Nerd Bar, we need to get the Will
Come
Wheaton
check it
Project
out.
down at Nerd Bar.
Exactly.
So what's been your favorite part of the show so far, Chris?
I think the Game of Thrones Brady Bunch commercial, even though I don't even watch Game of Thrones, I know, hate me, but just not my
I
thing.
don't think anybody hates you for not
But
watching it.
I really was entertained by that. Actually, I think I caught up a lot on what's happening in Game of Thrones by watching that one segment.
You know everything about Game of
I
Thrones
feel like
without
I know
watching it.
all I need to know. Yep.
It
was the cliff
very,
notes.
very good
Yeah.
overview, I think, because they
Yeah.
have focused on it quite a bit here in the
Right.
last couple episodes.
What about you, Steve? What was your favorite part of the Will Wheaton Project so far?
Honestly, I like the little fake commercials and vignettes that they do. Some of them are hilarious.
Now, I know he's been doing a Kickstarter to do his tabletop gaming show. This has nothing to do with that.
No, I don't think so. I think this
Does
is a
he talk
completely
about
different project.
gaming at all on the Will Wheaton?
He does talk about gaming. He talks about video games.
I've noticed on Twitter he's very accessible right now. Do you think the popularity of this show might kind of peter that down a little bit, or make it even bigger?
I don't know. I think this is going to blow up. I mean, it really seems like people are enjoying it. Like I said, just the fact that now nerds have another cool major network show that they can go and watch that's talking about stuff that they like and they understand.
Well,
It's got to be a good thing.
Nerd humor is the new mainstay in television right now.
Not everybody is as lucky as the South Carolina area and has a cool show.
A local show.
That nerds do for
Right,
them,
right.
you know. So you got to go with Will Wheaton.
So it's Will Wheaton Project.
The Will Wheaton Project.
Say that 3 times really fast.
Will Wheaton Project, Will Wheaton Project, Will Wheaton Project.
What he said on the Sci-Fi Channel, what nights and what time?
Comes on Tuesday nights at 9.
Tuesday at 9. You're not doing anything anyway. You might as well laugh at Will Wheaton. And we'll see you next week. This is Jason David Frank. Well, this is a picture of Jason David Frank. I haven't been to XCon yet. Well, I guess you know that because I'm not there. You're just looking at my picture. Anyway, I do hang out at Nerd Bar. Well, this picture of me hangs out at Nerd Bar. So come down to Nerd Bar and see this picture of me. Alright? Right. Here we are with this week's Vic segment of Nerd Bar Live, and we've got a lot to squeeze into one segment. This past weekend, Steve and I headed up to Charlotte for Heroes Convention. It was their 32nd year. They had a record-setting attendance. The hall was packed.
It was monstrous.
Yeah, now Heroes is pretty much just a comic book convention. No media stars or anything like that. Outside of the cosplay girls.
By Bernie Wrightson, the last great pure comic book show.
Bernie Wrightson, yeah, and he's a great artist himself. We had a great time there, and we picked up some interviews for you guys to watch, and we're going to show you one of those right now. And here we are with Joseph Michael Linsner of Dawn fame at Heroes in Charlotte. And this is a special year for you because we have the upcoming 25th anniversary of Dawn.
Yes, the first issue of a comic book that Dawn appeared in, Cry for Dawn #1, came out in December 1989, 25 years ago.
So what are we doing special for this year?
To help celebrate, I'm finally doing Dawn's very first crossover with another comic character, and that is Vamplets, who is actually celebrating her 45th anniversary this year. And so between the two of them, that's 70 years of sexiness.
So you have a cougar and a young one.
Yes.
Mixing it up.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, any chance we get to see you down in Myrtle Beach sometime?
I hope so. I've heard nothing but great things about the XCon in Myrtle Beach.
Great. Thanks so much. All right, so here we are at Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina, talking to the hilarious Chris Yambar. He's here. Yambar, excuse me. Someone went down behind us. As you can see from the paraphernalia around his desk, he has quite a long history with the Simpsons comics. How did that get started?
Well, it started off from years, actually decades of bad reading, and I always loved comics. So I started doing a comic called Mr. Beats. It's all about Little Beatnik. And Mr. Beat actually was being read by a guy named Matt Groening in California. And as an independent creator, that's what you want. You want your stuff to go as far as possible because you don't know who's reading your stuff. Well, in my case, it was the Big Daddy. So his people called me and they said, Matt would like to know if he'd like to write for his comic book company. So I had to think about it for like, a quarter of a second.
Right.
And I said, yes, absolutely. I'd have done it for free, but...
He didn't mean that, Matt.
No, I've been there for 14 years, so... 14
years.
I'm taking their money.
That's pretty loyal to his people, isn't it?
Yeah, he's incredibly loyal. He's proof that you don't have to be a jerk to be successful. And he treats everybody who works with him with a lot of respect. He's big on the independent creators and the people who actually contribute to the voice of his character properties. So when he said, you put my name on there, fine. He said, but you make sure you put every single person's name who ever does anything on The Simpsons in print. He said, because they're the ones who carry them all. So he's real big that way.
Well, he started humble too. I mean, Tracy Ullman discovered him, right?
Yeah.
So what are the chances we could see you in Myrtle Beach next May at XCon?
Pretty good, as long as you have topless. Is it topless the whole weekend?
Only for the men.
Just for the men?
Just for the men.
I'm still there. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll reach out to you for sure. We're glad to have you on our TV show, Nerd Bar Live. And when you're in Myrtle Beach, come hang out at Nerd Bar with us.
You know what's going to happen. When I'm at Myrtle Beach, I'm hanging out at the Nerd Bar.
Wasn't that an awesome interview?
It was cool of those guys to take time out because they were really busy that day.
They were, and it's cool to see what Linsner had to say about Dawn's 25th anniversary. Right. But what's going on tonight? Nerd Bar, right downtown Myrtle Beach.
Tonight, starting at 9.
Starting at 9.
We're going to have some concerts from some local musicians. Finishing the night out with the big concert by Wicked Gift.
Wicked Gift, Myrtle Beach's own Wicked Gift.
They've got several cool local musicians opening for them, and I hear there's going to be some special surprises happening during the show.
I heard about some surprise special effects performances going on with the Wicked Gift Show. Right here tonight in Nerd Bar. You need to be down here, you need to be 21, and you need to be a little bit nerdy. And we'll see you next week on Nerd Bar Live.
To the hip hop, the hip me to the hip hop. You don't stop the rocker to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie beat. Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat, and me the groove.
Here we are with this week's Comic Corner, and as always, Steve's got some interesting stuff for us to look at. Steve, what do we have first?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
What? 2 covers?
There are actually more than 2 covers, but these are the 2 cool ones.
Now, this is issue 1. Is this a mini-series or an ongoing series?
This is going to be a little mini-series. This kind of picks up right where the movie left.
Out of it.
And it's fantastic so far. We saw this a lot in Charlotte this past weekend at Heroes Con, and people were going berserk for it. So you definitely want to grab some copies of it because it's going to disappear fast.
Now, where's the eye patch on Snake Plissken?
Is it on his left eye?
Oh, different movie. Different movie. Good art, though.
Yes.
Well, if you know the movie, you're probably going to love the comic. I know I'm going to read it.
Yeah, it's great. It's really funny, too.
Oh, yeah. Here's one I know about.
All right. Only Human: The Awakening.
This is an independent book by a friend we met up in Charlotte, Joseph Michael. This is his first book he's put out. It's called Only Human. Joseph, we wanted to give you a shout out, so here you go. This is his spin on a zombie tale where they're more nightmares than they are zombies. It's like a psychological thing. So far, I can't tell if the zombies are real, if the zombies are nightmares, but I know this chick right here on the cover has a lot to do with all of it. We'll give you his web address, and you can check this out for yourself. As you know, we love to support independent comics. So, with that, we have another independent comic, don't we?
We also got the Charlotte. I'm going to take a shot at pronouncing that name there.
Yeah, Dragunas.
I think it's Dragunas.
Dragunas. The Sires of Time.
Fantastic retelling of Arthurian legend.
Meaning King Arthur, Arthurian, King Arthur. The art in this book is...
Look at the pen work in there.
Spectacular.
It's amazing!
You don't even have to really read the story to appreciate the beauty of this book.
The book is fantastic. It really felt like almost watching a movie. The way they tell the story, and the pacing is good, and, you know, like we said, the incredible pen work, incredible art.
Yeah, this is one of those rare independent books that you get that's black and white that just is awesome in black and white.
Yeah, I don't think you could have even done this book in color.
No, sometimes independent books are black and white because they're expensive to do in color, and we understand that. But every now and again, you get a book in black and white, you're like, this is perfect in black and white. It would be ruined in color.
Yeah, it's exactly the way it should be.
So what else do we have? I know we got one more thing.
The last thing we have is not quite new, but we do keep it in stock on a regular basis.
Look at that!
Vamplets. Vamplets, which is really kind of
now I've read
kids
this
horror, but it's good for adults too. I mean, it's really a story that anybody can read and enjoy. They have a great line of really well-made plush for all the main characters.
So this is their, like, laugh at My Little Ponies, right?
I think it is. I think that's kind of their version of My Little Pony. It's super cute. I can't keep these in the store. They blow out of here.
Right down at XCon Comics. Come get your shoot pony.
Yes, cute monster.
Now, I've read this to my kids, You can read it to your kids. It's about a young girl who applies to an ad to be a babysitter. And when she goes for the interview, she's taken to another world, kind of like through a dimension. And she is babysitting baby werewolves and vampires that evidently take hundreds of years to mature, and they're all brats. And no one in the world that they live in will even bother to babysit them because they're such a pain that they have to trick humans into coming to babysit them.
Literally little monsters.
Yes, literally little monsters. We're going to have to wrap up this week's Comics Corner. Check out all these fine books at your local comic shop, or come down to XCon Comics and Steve will hook you up. We'll see you next time.
Wants us to do a version of Cartoon Planet that's more kid-friendly for TBS. And so, you know, we redesigned the desk where Space Ghost sat and kind of added Brack to the mix instead of Moltard. And, you know, just like, we just started writing scripts like crazy. One day I came in and recorded 60 scripts in one day. So, yeah.
How many hours was that?
4.5.
Wow, yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, try doing this voice for 4.5 hours.
I couldn't do it, but I can do George's voice as Space Ghost.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, I just spent the weekend with me. Talks really fast. It's good to see you, George. See you, Martin. Right? Yeah. Oh, you should come down to my place. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, oh, yeah. I have a shirt like I do. It looks better on you. It doesn't. I'm losing my hair. Jesus. Oh. It's true. You know, George, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how he says yeah, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes again. I can't say it like him. Doggone it. I'm a big fan of Jerry Lewis growing up. And so for me, there was very much a lot of Jerry Lewis in Sheldon. For those of you old enough to remember him, and if you don't, you should Google him. You should watch his movies. He's a comic genius. And when he and Dean Martin had a comedy act, and then later went to solo movies, he would do what he would call, you know, his 9-year-old, and he would say in interviews, everybody is 9. On the inside, everybody is 9. Not 8, not 7, not 10, 9. And a 9-year-old will do things you don't expect, like, you should go into an elevator sometime and try it. The door's closed, and you just go, oh, Dean. So with that in mind, and he would, you know, kind of act out around Dean Martin, who was very suave. All right, Jerry, go ahead. Yeah, go after them gold diggers.
I can't, Dean. I mean, you're the one who's, you know, you're good looking and you can sing and everything, and I can't do a darn thing.
So that nerd, you know, that very vulnerable and funny guy is what I channeled into Sheldon, and that's where he came from.